Alright, y'all, good morning, Little Scapula. I'm getting to this review early because I got some stuff that is fresh on my mind. Um, Pretty good start to the morning. Um, GV is the one that we're going to talk about. This was the one I got chopped up all day on yesterday, and let me see. Is this after hours? Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is the one I got chopped up on all day yesterday in the morning, and it just consolidated all day. And ironically, at the end of the session yesterday, it just started squeezing all the way up to like $4. Squeezed into the close, and then after hours hit about 450s, and I was like, okay, I mean, that's cool. I got chopped up in it all day, and then it just rips, whatever. So going into today pre-market, it started squeezing again. Right at 4 a.m., popped all the way up to 475. Then we broke fives, and I got up at about 6:30. And let me see what I saw. Yeah, I saw this 5-minute setup right here. When I was waking up, it kind of looked like this, and I was like, okay, that's pretty nice. I actually took a little lotto on it from my bed, but it doesn't really count. But I was a little too early for this. Like I said, I wasn't even at my desk yet. But this is a beautiful 5-minute flag. I mean, look at that. You get that nice dip. It even dipped off of this pivot right here. Again, this one did have news from yesterday, so this is like day two continuation. And with not much else moving, I mean, I'm assuming this had a lot of eyes on it. So you could see this 498 level right here, bounced off that nicely. And this was the flag at after 7 a.m. And, I missed this. And the point of this review for me is to understand why I hesitated on this one. Um, right at 7 a.m., we got this wick right here. We got this candle kind of popped, dropped, pop, lock, and drop it type thing. But it had nice consolidation, and this was a big opportunity right here. This candle would have been a very nice entry off of this 548 level. This was a pivot to the left. I mean, this is important too. You want to see it bounce off some pivot levels, and this was a great area to take a trade, and for some reason I just did not take this. I don't know. I feel like in the past I've seen a lot of these plays like squeeze into 7 a.m. and then they just dump, and then another play drops news or something, and then it gets attention. So I was kind of just a little hesitant on it. But in hindsight, I feel like they're just, maybe I had some emotions tied into this because I'm like, oh, I don't want to start off on a loser, but like, this is the way. Like, I got to take these. I mean, that's 3 cents of risk. I saw it. I mean, it was 555s, 550s. I even seen. I'm like, I could have just took that and risked even 10 cents, gave it some room under this level. And I mean, we squeezed for new highs too. I mean, my target would have been here at about $6, so that would have been about 50 cents a share of profit for risking like 10. I mean, this was a trade I should have taken for sure. I mean, I got to take these. I just got to take them. It's a probability thing, you know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But this was the second 5-minute flag. I mean, obviously, this is going to be, this first 5-minute setup right here is going to be the highest probability. Second, still going to be some high probability. But I ended up taking the third, which, I mean, the more we keep setting them up, the less conviction I'm going to have in them. I mean, things are just going to get exhausted after a while. So, I mean, you can only expect these things to put up so many 5-minute setups. But I did take this trade. So once it broke out, once it broke out of this 5-minute flag, it set up a 5-minute 3-bar right here. I mean, this was a nice play too. You can't really, that was kind of hard for me to trade. This is more like a 1-minute setup. Squeezed all the way up to 714. And then I was glued on it right here. I was locked in on this pullback. I seen we started having the low volume pullback again. Nice push up, had good volume, almost a milk candle right here. Started to pull back on lower volume, and I kind of marked this pivot right here. Let me need to try to keep up with what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, so I seen this pivot on the 5-minute. That was kind of like my reference point. I'm gonna be like, okay, I kind of want to see it pull back to this area, or this is where I'm expecting it to pull back to. So that's 628. It did just that. I need to hide these candles. My God, they mess up my volume. 1 second. Okay. So yeah, look at this. Nice push up. Pulls back to this area on the 5 minute right here. Puts in a nice wick right there. I took a starter in this area right here. I think I had about, let's say, 636s. And I even put it in the chat. I believe I was risking 627s or something like that. So I was in right here. It came down, tapped again. I held onto it here, and it made a push to 655s. I didn't take any off of that at that point. I really wanted to see. I kind of break it up in half. So like if I take my entry here and I have my target here, I'm gonna split it in two. So I'll kind of like nice little red candle right here. That's gonna be like my halfway point. So if we come up to here, I'll usually take half, and then I'll move my stop to break even, and then I'll look for new highs. But you know, especially on this one, I'm like, oh, you know, I want my winners to be bigger. So I kind of held on to it. I didn't take any profits even on this pop. You know, that's up 20 cents. Came back down again. I technically should have stopped out here. So like, if I'm risking the 626s and it breaks, because this is the low on the 5 minute right here. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting the low of this candle that bounced off the 5 minute 8 to hold. You can see it pushed and it came back down. Technically, I should have just stopped out right here. I should have stopped out, took my small loss, because obviously it's going to start making it's going to make a new low or something. You know what I mean? A new risk off. So even though, you know, I technically left some profit on the table. I could have made money on this play. I technically should have been stopped out right here once it broke down, because now our 5 minute low candle is right here. And it held, you know what I mean? So like, even though this one didn't work, it broke this risk level. I still have an opportunity to now play off of this new 5 minute low. As long as it's holding the 5 minute 8. I mean, if it keeps breaking down and, you know, it starts to look like shit, I mean, I'm probably not going to look for a dip anymore. But it bounced, wicked up, put in a nice green candle. Now I could have re-entered off of 619s, which was the low right here. We're still kind of holding this area over here. And then I could have looked for entries off this dip. I could have looked for this dip, because that's the one that ended up making the bigger push to my first target right here. But like I said, I kind of held it. I gave it a chance. It was the only thing moving. Technically, according to my rules, that was the wrong answer, and that could have led to an emotional trade, bigger loss than I wanted to. Technically, I should have taken this, maybe taken off some here, but like I said, it worked out, and I was able to make money on it. But just going in the future, I technically should have stopped, re-entered on this one. But yeah, it was still a good trade. I mean, I got about 50 cents of profit a share right there, so cannot really complain on that. Yeah, I just wanted to make this while it was fresh. Just some notes to myself. I did take all my profits right here, though, because I was like, we're going into 8 a.m. I don't like holding it to 8 a.m. because then all those wild wicks start coming. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but yeah, pretty good green day so far. Gonna kind of just be patient the rest of the day, because if I don't see these, you know, I just don't want to trade. I need to see these setups. These are what I make my money on. I can go look for them everywhere else that get chopped up, but like these are the bread and butter. So I'm gonna try to keep my eye out on these for the rest of the day, and if I try anything else, I'll add it to this video. But that's it. Peace.